The world of off-road vehicles is full of tough machines. Some are built to crawl over rocks, some are built for deserts, and some are built for extreme expeditions across continents. But every once in a while, a vehicle shows up that blends something unexpected with that hardcore off-road capability. Adventure with luxury. Meet the Storyteller Grand Bohemian, an overlanding monster built on top of one of the most rugged SUVs on the planet. And yes, this is basically a luxury camper built on the Ineos Grenadier. If you're someone who dreams about disappearing into the desert for weeks, driving deep into the mountains, or crossing entire countries with nothing but your gear and your vehicle, this machine might be one of the coolest overlanding builds ever created. Because unlike typical camper vans or RVs, the Grand Bohemian keeps the hardcore off-road DNA of the Grenadier while adding everything you need to live off the grid. And the result is something that feels like it came straight out of an expedition documentary. To understand why this vehicle is so interesting, you first need to understand the SUV underneath it. The Ineos Grenadier was designed as a modern replacement for classic, no-nonsense off-roaders like the original Land Rover Defender. When the old Defender disappeared, many enthusiasts felt like the world had lost one of the last truly mechanical, rugged SUVs. So Ineos decided to build something similar from scratch. The result was the Grenadier, a body-on-frame SUV with solid engineering, serious off-road capability, and a design that clearly pays tribute to old expedition vehicles. It was built for farmers, explorers, overlanders, and anyone who actually drives far beyond paved roads. So it's no surprise that someone eventually turned it into an expedition camper. And that's exactly what Storyteller Overland has done with the Grand Bohemian. The base vehicle used here is the Grenadier Trialmaster edition, which is already the most off-road focused version of the SUV. But Storyteller didn't just add camping gear and call it a day. They completely transformed the vehicle into a fully self-sufficient overlanding machine. The upgrades begin with the suspension. The Grand Bohemian replaces the standard suspension with the Flarespace Evictus Prerunner kit, which features massive 2.65-inch dampers designed to improve ride quality and control during extreme off-road driving. That means better stability when crawling over rocks, better comfort on long dirt roads, and more control when the terrain gets rough. And then there are the tires. The SUV rides on aggressive BFGoodrich All-Terrain T KO3 tires mounted to Torque Racing Enduro wheels. If you've spent any time in the off-road world, you know BFGoodrich tires are practically legendary among overlanders and trail drivers. They're known for durability, traction, and the ability to handle brutal environments. Of course, any serious overland vehicle also needs recovery gear. So the Grand Bohemian comes equipped with a front-mounted winch ready to pull the vehicle out of deep mud, sand, or rocky obstacles when things get tricky. And because tire pressure is crucial in off-roading, the SUV also includes a powerful twin-motor onboard ARB air compressor. This allows drivers to air down their tires for better traction on sand or rocks, and then reinflate them quickly when returning to regular roads. It's exactly the type of equipment serious overlanders expect. But once the driving part of the journey ends, the Grand Bohemian transforms into something completely different, a mobile base camp. One of the most striking features is the massive 270-degree shadow on. They're known for durability, traction, and the ability to handle brutal environments. Of course, any serious overland vehicle also needs recovery gear. So the Grand Bohemian comes equipped with a front-mounted winch ready to pull the vehicle out of deep mud, sand, or rocky obstacles when things get tricky. And because tire pressure is crucial in off-roading, the SUV also includes a powerful twin-motor onboard ARB air compressor. This allows drivers to air down their tires for better traction on sand or rocks, and then reinflate them quickly when returning to regular roads. It's exactly the type of equipment serious overlanders expect. But once the driving part of the journey ends, the Grand Bohemian transforms into something completely different, a mobile base camp. One of the most striking features is the massive 270-degree shadow awning mounted to the vehicle. When deployed, it creates a huge shaded outdoor area around the SUV, perfect for relaxing, cooking, or simply escaping the sun during long desert trips. But the real magic happens above the vehicle. The roof transforms into a pop-up camper system using an alu cab roof conversion. When expanded, it creates a surprisingly spacious living area with enough headroom for 2 people to comfortably sleep, sit, or work inside the vehicle. For a vehicle that still looks like a rugged off-road SUV from the outside, the transformation is impressive. Inside the cabin, thoughtful details make the space feel more like a tiny expedition apartment. Multi-zone dimmable lighting allows occupants to control the atmosphere depending on the time of day. Most of the time, you'll probably use the soft white lighting mode, but there's also a red lighting mode designed specifically to preserve night vision, something astronomers, campers, and serious outdoor enthusiasts will appreciate. Staying warm during cold nights is handled by a fuel-fired hydronic heating system. This system not only heats the cabin, but also warms the vehicle's fresh water supply. That means even in cold climates, you'll still have warm water available. Speaking of water, the Grand Bohemian carries a 10.5-gallon freshwater tank along with a 4-gallon gray water tank to handle wastewater. And for those who want to stay truly self-sufficient, the vehicle also includes a built-in water purification system from Guzzle H2O. This allows travelers to filter and purify water during long expeditions where clean water sources may be limited. But what about electricity? Modern overlanding vehicles need power for devices, lighting, refrigeration, and cooking equipment. The Grand Bohemian solves this with a powerful off-grid electrical system. At the center is a 5.4 kilowatt-hour Lithionics battery connected to a red arc control system. This battery powers 4 110-volt outlets through a 2-kilowatt inverter, allowing travelers to charge laptops, cameras, and other equipment just like they would at home. And to keep that battery charged during long trips, the vehicle includes 400-watt solar panels mounted on the roof. So even in remote areas, the vehicle can generate its own electricity from sunlight. When it comes to food and cooking, the Grand Bohemian is equally well equipped. Inside the vehicle is a compact galley kitchen featuring a stainless steel sink and folding faucet. Food storage is handled by a dual-zone 21-quart refrigerator and freezer combo, allowing travelers to keep ingredients fresh for extended trips. And for cooking meals, the system includes a portable induction cooktop. This means you can cook warm meals without needing a campfire, though nothing stops you from enjoying one if the location allows it. Of course, long expeditions also require some basic bathroom solutions. So the Grand Bohemian includes a compost toilet along with an exterior shower mounted to the rear door. That means you can rinse off after a long day on the trail or after hiking through dusty environments. It's not luxury hotel comfort, but for an off-grid expedition vehicle, it's incredibly well thought out. And perhaps the most impressive thing about this vehicle is that despite all these additions, it still retains the rugged spirit of the Grenadier. This isn't a fragile luxury RV, it's still a serious off-road machine capable of reaching remote places where traditional campers would never survive. That's exactly what makes it so appealing to the growing community of overlanding enthusiasts. Because overlanding isn't just about driving off-road, it's about traveling far beyond civilization, relying on your vehicle as both transportation and shelter. And vehicles like the Grand Bohemian are built specifically for that lifestyle. Of course, all this capability and equipment comes at a price. The Storyteller Grand Bohemian has an MSRP of around $278,000. That might sound expensive, but compared to many custom expedition builds that can easily exceed $500,000, it's actually somewhat reasonable. The vehicle is also certified by the Recreational Vehicle Industry Association, meaning it meets safety standards for plumbing, electrical systems, heating, and fire protection. That certification is important because it ensures the camper conversion meets strict industry requirements. And it also means buyers can purchase the vehicle through official RV or Storyteller Overland dealers rather than relying on custom aftermarket builds. Ultimately, the Grand Bohemian represents something bigger than just another luxury camper. It represents the growing popularity of overlanding itself. More people than ever are choosing adventure travel over traditional vacations. They want to explore deserts, forests, mountains, and remote landscapes. And vehicles like this make those journeys possible. Because when your SUV can carry your shelter, power, water, kitchen, and gear all in one machine, the road doesn't just take you somewhere, it becomes the adventure.